Hey friends, welcome to the channel. Welcome back. Today we're hanging out on the dock, right? As I've mentioned before, the weather's getting better. We're into springtime. Summer is almost here, but obviously it gives us an opportunity to get outside, get out and about, and that's starting to feel really good. So I'm just hanging out on the dock this morning, sipping my cup of coffee, shooting a video, talking to you and explaining, hey, what are some of the best places to live here at Lake of the Ozarks? And I think as the channel is going to grow and evolve, as I mentioned last week, and really did a pull back the curtains and an introduction to Michael Beninati, my business partner, and my wife's involvement, and Alexis, our editor, and really trying to explain the big picture of everybody involved in this channel. Moving forward, right, we're going to talk about different parts of the lake and different coves, and we're going to go on some home tours, and Michael and I are going to show you around a little bit more. We do that with encouragement that you'll come and visit us. So call me, text me, email me, come down and visit me. We would love to show you some of these parts of the lake that could be conducive to what you're wanting or what you're needing, right? Because just like any real estate transaction, location, super important, right? And especially here at the lake, I promise you, when you look at this place from a distance and you're Googling it and you're looking at maps, right? It looks like everything is pretty close. It doesn't look like things are that spread out, but it is. It's a very spread out area. It takes a while to get to certain places depending on where you're living and where you're going. So food for thought. Let's figure out kind of where we are right now and we'll take a look at a map. So we pull up a map and in this area, you have Kansas City, you have St. Louis. If you go to the middle, you go down, that's where you're going to find the lake. And as I've mentioned plenty of time, this lake looks like an ancient Chinese dragon. So I'm always referring to the lake with your head, your neck, your belly, your legs, and the tail of the dragon. And that's kind of where we want to start our tour. We want to start at the top, right? We want to start up towards the Bagnell Dam, the Lake Ozark area. The strip is up there. And if you're looking to make a purchase in this area, you're doing it because you want the ease and convenience of a lot of amenities. You want to be close to the scene. That's what the upper part of the lake is going to give you. Really, when you look at it, just to kind of wrap them all up together, I guess, the head, neck, and belly area, your Lake Ozark, your Village of Four Seasons, and your Osage Beach area are going to be the main areas for amenities, right? You have your major retail stores up there like Lowe's and Home Depot and Targets, Walmarts. You have a lot of restaurants up there and grocery stores, shopping. You have Lake Regional Hospital is up in this area. You have the airport. You have everything that this lake would offer pretty much in that area for ease and convenience. And so if you're moving to this area and you have to be close to amenities and you don't want to have a far drive time, this is going to be your spot, right? And understanding that every city has a heart. Well, Osage Beach is the heart of Lake of the Ozarks. And when you have that heart or you have that center, you're right, you also have a little bit more congestion, right? Because that's where the majority of the people go. So depending on, your pros and cons in your world, that could be a good or a bad thing, right? Like, hey, I have to be close to the hospital. I have to be close to, grocery stores and amenities. I don't want to have a long drive time. Well, that makes sense. Let's keep you up in that area or as close to it as we can. But also at the same time, just understanding you will have a little bit more traffic. You will have a little bit more congestion. That's going to be the popular area for tourism, right? So a lot of people travel into this area, right? Hundreds of thousands of people come into this area during Memorial Day and Labor Day, the peak season. And so when that happens, your roads are going to get congested, your grocery stores, your restaurants, the hardware store, like you're going to feel that a little bit, right? You're going to feel this influx of tourism coming in. And again, mainly that's going to be on the weekends, obviously holiday weekends. It'll slow down a little bit during the week. But if you're up in this area, again, that's the most popular area. So if you're looking at price points of homes, that's going to probably be the highest price point of home up there. You're going to kind of pay for that convenience, right? So if you're looking for a single family home, lakefront property, you're doing that in the most popular area. So there is going to be a higher price point up there. However, if you're looking to retire and maybe you're shopping for a condominium, a condo community, there's tons of condo communities in this area. So there's a plethora of options. There's a ton of them that are on the market right now. So that's an easy thing to relocate and specifically look for a condo project. If you are in that retirement stage, that's probably the area you're going to do it. And if you are retiring and you're looking for that condo, again, you probably want to be close to a lot of things, and that's what Lake Ozarks, Village of Four Seasons, and Osage Beach is going to give you. So on top of the roadways maybe being a little bit more congested during, peak season and weekends and that tourism influx, you also have to understand that the waterways are going to be a little bit more busy as well, right? You're going to have more boat traffic, which means there's more waves and more chop. So depending on what you want to do when you're out on the water, right? If you're cruising on a big boat, totally cool. Like that's what this area is. Big boats, a lot of tri-tunes that can handle choppy waves. But if you're trying to go out there in the middle of the day and surf with your family or ski, wakeboard, do boating activities like that, you're going to have a lot of trouble. It's not really the best area for that type of boating. Now, there will be some coves and there's some off fingers and things that you might want to tuck yourself back into, but you're probably not doing that out on the main channel. So you got to find your sweet spot, your honey hole, your special cove, or do something, but you got to realize everybody else is probably trying to find those too. So that lifestyle up there, if you want to do those type of boating activities, you're probably getting out super early in the morning, like right now where the water's really calm. Well, I'm on the 42, so it's calm down here. But if you're up there, right, you want to get out early in the morning or you want to get out later when the sun's gone down and people are having dinner, you'll figure that out. The point of it is that head, neck, belly area is popular. It's the heart. It's where all your amenities are. And again, roadways and waterways are going to be choppy and congested. This is a seawall lake, right? So with seawall lakes, the water goes and hits the seawall and then it bounces back in. Hits the seawall, bounces back in. That will build up a lot of chop and a lot of waves. So think about that when you're coming down here. Our real estate office is right in Osage Beach, right next to the hospital. So it's a easy location to meet as our starting point when we're out there searching at properties and showing you this area. You can head up to those areas and show you that, and then you can obviously head south. Now, as you head south from Osage Beach, you're going to drive down Highway 54. You're going to pass the Lynn Creek Cove, and you're going to get into the Camdenton area and the Niagara Arm. These are becoming very popular areas because you're now extending yourself a little bit further away from the heart, right? The congestion, the busy waterways. You're starting to move yourself a little bit further south, but you're doing that. You still have a lot of the amenities that you're looking for, right? So if you're in that Lynn Creek Cove, if you're down in the Niagara Arm, if you're in the Camdenton area, you're now in kind of the feet of the dragon, right? You're down in the feet. So being down in this area, you have a little less congestion, right? A little less traffic. You're still going to have traffic. You're still going to have tourism. Highway 54 is still going to get busy during the peak season, during weekends, especially holiday weekends. You're still going to have it, just not as much. But being down in this area, again, you get a little bit less of it. You still have the ease and convenience of Camdenton. So you still have Walmarts and grocery stores, hardware stores, gas stations, restaurants, lakeside restaurants. You still have all of those things, just not as much, but you still have all of that. You have the town of Camdenton. You have school districts K through 12 down there. You also have K through 12 up in Osage. So when you're looking at this area, you're on the east side of the lake. You're running up and down Highway 54. Osage has K through 12. Camdenton has K through 12. So if you're relocating your family, those are probably the two areas that you're going to research the most to make your drive as easy and convenient as it can be. But being down in the Camdenton area, the Lynn Creek area, your price point is going to come down just a little bit. So you'll have a little less of a price point. There'll be probably a little bit more options when it comes to the real estate. There are still condominiums down in this area. There's less for sure. If the condo life is what you're looking for and less maintenance and resort style living, then you're going to be probably up in the Osage Village of Four Seasons area. But there are still some down here. And then there's also, again, just a little bit less of a price point on single family homes. The further away you get from the Osage Beach area, the more favorable the price point gets. However, the further away you go, the longer it's going to take you to get to the Osage Beach or, the Village Four Seasons area as well. So you got to figure out what that trade-off is. That's why we're here to help, right? We want to talk to you on the phone, grab a phone call, right? Grab a Zoom call, explain maybe the drive time and the distances, and maybe that's not important to you, right? Again, that Camdenton area is becoming more popular. That Lynn Creek is becoming more popular just because you have a little bit of an extension, you still have proximity to all the amenities, and again, a favorable price point. So more people are starting to move away from the heart and they're starting to branch out a little bit. So once you get past kind of this area, you're starting to make your way down the tail of the dragon. And being down the tail, right, it just depends. That tail kind of runs east and west. So now you're looking at, hey, do I want to be on the north side of the lake or the south side of the lake? Both would have a little bit of pros and cons. If you're on the north side of that tail, you do have the town of Lori up there. And Lori is going to have a lot of your amenities too, right? Grocery stores, gas stations, hardware stores. You're going to have pretty much all of the ease and convenience of your amenities up in Lori. So maybe being on that north side of the lake is more conducive to having amenities, right? You're still going to probably have I don't know, 45-minute-ish drive time to get to like the hospital or get to Osage Beach, but maybe that's okay because you have all the other little amenities right there in Lori. So being on the north side of the lake might give you access to more amenities. Being on the south side of that tail, you're going to have less. And that's kind of where we are, right? We're at the 42. We're on the south side of it. And I promise you, there's just not a whole lot around here. So for us, when we have to go to Walmart or we have to go to Osage Beach, it's a drive for sure, right? So it's taking us anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes to get into the Osage area. For us just to go to a grocery store is probably a solid 20 minutes. There's some Dollar Generals around here that you can kind of hit and maybe some local gas stations, but hey, you're choosing the south side, and the further you go down the tail, down Highway 7, the further away you're going to get from the amenities. So you're choosing lake life, remote lifestyle. You're choosing to be away from everything. But again, the further you kind of go, the calmer it gets, right? So for us, we got two young kiddos, 5 and 6. We like to hang out on the dock. We like to swim and play, and we like to get the boat out and surf and ski and tube. We like to just throw the anchor and just float. Well, this is an area that's more conducive for that. So maybe this is a good second home, vacation home with the potential to still rent it out. Like this is a really good area to be in if you're looking for a little bit more separation. You certainly will not have an influx of tourism and clogged roadways. And again, the waterways are busy in general when it comes to the summertime and in weekends and in peak seasons and stuff like that, but not as busy. Like you can easily go out here and find a little cove and do surfing in the middle of the day on a weekend and still have fun with the family. So want to articulate a little bit about how the lake works as you move your way through it. Again, it looks like a dragon. So the head, neck, and belly area is the heart. That's where the majority of everything is. Busier roadways, busier waterways. Tourism is going to kind of hit that area. A lot to do up in that area. Parks and golf courses and a ton of stuff and amenities up into that area. Nothing wrong with that. You make your way down Highway 54, you get into the Lynn Creek and Camdenton area. You still have all of the amenities that you're looking for, but maybe a little less congestion. Then you start to head down the tail of the dragon, right? You have the Lori north side of the lake. You have kind of Roach and Climax Springs, which is the south side. The further down you go, the tail, the more remote it gets, the further away you get from everything. And so think about that. And that's what we would want to show you, right? Because from a distance, when you're looking, you're Googling, you're researching, you're looking at maps, and you're like, oh, I can go from here to here, and it's only that far. I promise you, the roadways are steep and curvy. It'll take you easily 40 to 60 minutes to go from one place to another. We were showing a property the other day, and it was right over here. It was on the north side of the lake, and if I had my boat in the water, I could have been there in probably 5 minutes. But because I had to drive down the tail, cross the hurricane deck, back through Lori to get to it, it took 40 minutes. So it took 40 minutes just to go to a property that was right over there, obviously because the boat's not in the water yet. So when the boat gets in the water, I would 1000% just drive it across and show this property, but obviously we can't do that. But those are the things to think about, right? Location is super important. What amenities you have to be close to. You have kiddos that are in school. These are the things that we want to help you. So shoot me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. Let's do a Zoom call together. Let's set up your home search based off of what you need. We can plot a map. We would love for you to come into town, meet with Michael and I at the Osage Beach office. We get your showing set up. We show you around the lake, open up some doors. If we can get you out on the water, we're going to get you out on the water. So these are the things that we love to help you with. So when you're ready, reach out. Let us know what we can do to help you out. Until then, we'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.